Hello everyone. Let me quickly boil some water so that I can have my green tea. And while it's boiling, let me start the video. I think this is the perfect spot for a video today. It will just be a sit down and yapping kind of video. Things that I want to talk about, I have written it down. So I hope everything that I talk flows well together and it makes sense. And I hope it doesn't feel all over the place. So this month, it's August. It was my birthday 2 weeks ago on Sunday, the 10th of August. I had such a lovely day. In the morning, I went to Corn Forest to play in the snow. Then after that, I went to the Viral Food Fest in the race course in Epic. And then after that, I went for a dinner with Bella and Namge. And overall, the day was very nice and quiet, and I really enjoyed the day. I'm really thankful to everyone who wished on my birthday, and I hope for more of such birthdays to come in the following year that I'm here in Australia. Before I continue with the video, let me share something about Amber Student. Amber Student is an online platform exclusively for students, especially international students. Amber Student helps to find the most suitable accommodation for you in whichever city you are planning to go to, in whichever university you are planning to study in. Amber Student not only has all the amazing accommodation prices, students who book Amber properties gets great discounts through our partners on international flights, airport pickups, money transfers, free eSIM, and much more. To learn more about Amber Student and to make use of these services, click my link in my link description below. Now back to the video. To talk a little bit about my relationship with my birthday. When I was a teenager, I hated celebrating my birthday. Hate is a very strong word. I disliked celebrating my birthday because I felt there was too much attention on it. I was put on the spot, so I disliked getting all the attention. I also didn't really like the fact that people would get me birthday cakes on my birthday and I would have to blow it and then eat it. I think it also has something to do with my relationship with my body weight. So it was all mixed in together. So that's why I really didn't like celebrating my birthday. Maybe I felt there was nothing to celebrate about myself, but I could see that the family around me and my friends, they really enjoyed and felt good, making me feel special. So that was the only reason I was okay with cutting a cake and making it a big thing. Otherwise, I didn't really find anything to celebrate about myself back then. But then in 2018 to 2019, I went to Europe for a student exchange program through Erasmus, and something changed after that trip. After that 6 months period, something changed within me. I don't know what happened, but I started celebrating life and I enjoyed every moment that happened in my life, whether it was good or bad, because I realized it is a learning process. Whether it's good or bad, you always grow. So that mindset changed in me. After that, ever since, I have been okay celebrating myself on my birthday because I feel there is so much to celebrate. And every year, from your last birthday to your birthday this year, so much has changed and you have grown so much. Although you might find it difficult to see it or notice it, you have grown a lot. So there is something to celebrate. So now I am okay with celebrating my birthday, and that's why every year I feel more grateful to the people who make me feel special on my birthday. Not necessarily with gifts or extravagant gestures, but just making me feel special and appreciating me and my existence. That has really meant a lot to me. A couple of months ago, when I made a visit to IKEA, I got few items which I would like to share. It's nothing big, but I thought my place needed a pop of color, especially in my living room. So I got this. It's a tablecloth, I think. Yeah, but I like the pattern and the colors here. So I thought it would be nice for my couch, especially the handrest. I thought this would be perfect for it, just to keep it here like this. I don't know if you can see the difference, but visually here I can see that it brings a lot of color in my space. And also I got this cushion cover. It matches this tablecloth that I got. So let me change the cushion cover that I have now. This was also something I got from IKEA, and I got this one also because it had a unique color that would bring a pop of color to my living room. What are some of the things that happened recently with me? It has been long since I gave you guys a little update about myself, because I have been doing different types of video in my channel, which are not usually the type of videos that I do. My videos have been really focusing on PTE these days. So that's why I thought it was a perfect time to do like a August update. One exciting news that I wanted to share with you guys is my YouTube channel is finally monetized. Yay! Yes, my YouTube channel got monetized back in June, and it's all thanks to you guys who watch my videos and support me, whether my content is interesting or not. You guys have been following me and supporting me, even through likes and comments or even just a click. So thank you very much. I have to say that my channel has grown because of the PTE videos that I did. I think I was able to grow this fast because of the PTE related videos. So thank you everyone once again. Yeah, it's done. I'll just put it here. To talk a little bit about YouTube monetization, what are the criteria? Some people might be wondering. So there are few main criteria that need to be satisfied. That is, first one, you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers. The second one is you need to have 4,000 watch hours. These are the only two criteria. Your channel can also be monetized not only through your long form video content, but also through your shorts, YouTube shorts. There is a separate criteria for that one, which I wouldn't really focus on because that's not what I did for my channel. So yes, in June 2025, I was able to finally get my channel monetized, but it did take some time to get it actually monetized because I need to set up my AdSense account and everything, which I will talk in my next video, where I will share you about how much I earned my first ever payment from YouTube. So stay tuned for that video. I also got a couple of collaboration opportunities, and I'm really thankful to them for trusting in me. And also thank you to you guys for supporting me by just watching. And I remember in 2025, this year, when I first visited Melbourne, I made a video with my cousin, and she asked me something about what's your goal or what's your wish for 2025, and I said my only goal for 2025 or wish is for me to get 1,000 subscribers, and I'm so happy that it came true in the first half of 2025 that quick. I have always been very skeptical of manifestations and letting that energy out in the universe and then let the universe handle it. Now I think maybe it works. You do need to put your time and effort into it, because you can't just let the universe handle everything. You do have to put your own effort into it. But I think if you put your effort into it and you work towards it, you can definitely achieve it. Yeah, I just wanted to share that because far into the future, when I watch this video back again, I'll be like, oh, in March 2025, I wish that and it happened in June. So maybe it will remind me about the power of manifestation, but also working hard towards it. Recently, I also reached out to the rental agent for the place that I stay in, and I asked him if I can renew the lease with them, and they said it is possible and it can happen. So they are coming for inspection this week, not this week, sorry. Yeah, the coming week on the 28th of August. So I'll have to get my place ready for inspection and make sure it's organized and clean so that they don't have any complaints with me. I really hope they don't find any issues because I don't want to move again. It would be so much stress. I'm not ready for that stress. What are the new things that are happening in my life? Oh yeah, next month, September, it will be my graduation. It will be on the 23rd of September, and I'm looking forward to it, but there has been a slight moment of frustration that I went through this afternoon while I was registering for my graduation. I also made an entire TikTok on that issue. But just to give a brief about what that was about, while I was registering for my graduation, I saw that I would have to pay for my regalia, the gown set, which was understandable, but I had to pay for my guest as well. My understanding, what I thought was regalia you have to pay, but I thought the guest, few tickets would be free, at least one, but there were no free tickets and I had to buy tickets. That is something that really frustrated me because I thought, being an international student and paying so much money in the course of the 2 years, I thought at least they would give us one free ticket for the guest who comes to attend our graduation. But no, they didn't give any free tickets. Instead, it was $60 per seat. So that was frustrating, but nonetheless, I'm looking forward to my graduation because it is a big milestone for me. As I mentioned earlier, before I did not enjoy celebrating my birthday, but now I feel like every moment should be celebrated because it helps us grow and puts us in more uncomfortable situations so that we learn how to navigate through it. In the past few months, I've also been very consistent with my gym. I'm really proud of it because I knew I struggled with starting something, but once I started, I am very consistent and I can trust in myself. So I can confidently say that I've never missed a single day. Like I go 5 days a week, which some might say is too much. Like even if I miss a day, I make sure that I at least make it 5 days a week, whether it is any day of the week. One thing with me is whenever I'm doing something random, like doing my dishes or doing my laundry or weeding in my backyard, or organizing my clothes, my mind is always busy and all different thoughts come in my mind, and I always feel, and I think if I don't write it down, it's just lost and I can't recollect it. And sometimes the ideas and the thoughts that come in my mind are really eye-opening for me as well, because I'm like, oh Karma, you are capable of thinking that as well. So that surprises me, and I feel writing it down helps. And because I always have my phone with me, I make sure to write it down in my notes. Let's see, the first point, which is kind of cringy or cliche. The first thing is, when the secret to true bliss is to embrace yourself wholeheartedly, which I feel is very true. Unless you wholeheartedly embrace yourself and accept yourself, you will always find reasons to look down on yourself, and in the long term that doesn't really help you grow. It only puts you down in a way, stops you from growing. And the second one that I wrote here is airplane theory. Some of these lines here are things that I've seen on the internet, and when I find that those are interesting, I write it down. So the second one is, put your marks on first to help others next. Airplane theory. This is also very important because in Buddhism and growing up in our culture, we always say you should always look after someone else, you have to always look out for others, but you are not prioritized. It is very important to prioritize yourself first so that you will be able to help others as well, which goes a little bit against what Buddhism says, but you should always try to find the middle path and not go extremes on both ends. I also made a note here about Kung Fu Panda, the movie, and remember in the first movie the enemy was Tai Lang. When I was researching something about Taiwan, and you guys might have known that Taiwan and China, they are not really in good terms, I saw that a lot of places in Taiwan has the name Thai at the beginning. There were a lot of places which started with Thai. So then I thought, did they name the character Tai Lang because it is related to Taiwan? And the movie was trying to show that Tai Lang, which represents Taiwan, is not getting along with Panda, which represents China. I don't know, that was just a random theory or random thought that I had, and I wrote it down as well. The next point that I wrote in my notes, let me just read it out. It says, importance of vulnerability in relationships. We as humans need affection. You can't be alone and isolated for a long time. Knowing your love language is also essential, and everyone wants to feel loved. Vulnerability in relationships are so important. Then only you are able to open up to each other without the fear of being judged. That's when you are truly yourself. What I've also noticed is most of the relationships these days, although I'm single and I'm no one to give these kind of advices, but I feel most of the relationships these days, people fear being vulnerable to each other And that has something to do with how you are brought up as well. If you feel like being vulnerable to someone else means that you're being weak towards them and your partner might take advantage of that, then I feel like you're already setting yourself up for failure. Being vulnerable should go both ways. It might be a scary move when you are first starting to be vulnerable with your partner, but I'm sure it will be such a relief when you can finally be yourself with the people you are really close with. I've also mentioned something here about dating. Dating is tiring, hookup culture. Also, you meet very less people who want to talk. Maybe it depends on the type of date or meet, but it's very rare you meet people who want to talk. Decipher and reflect. I love talking and connecting and talking about philosophical things. These days, because of all the dating apps that are in the market, there is very less appreciation for people who want to connect and talk. Sometimes I just want to meet people who want to talk and reflect. And it doesn't have to be anything sexual. I don't know, I've always been this way ever since I was a kid. I loved talking with people who I could really connect with. It doesn't have to be very deep, heavy conversations. The conversations where I can be vulnerable, where I can be transparent. In this world, especially in Australia, meeting someone who you really want to talk with and that person wants to talk with you as well is really difficult, especially in Australia. The next one here, I said asking questions is so important to yourself. Asking yourself questions is very important because then you challenge yourself to find the answers, and if the answer that you think you know is really true and if it makes sense. So asking questions helps you explore and not just stay stuck in one place. But what I said is, when you're talking to others, ask questions to them too, because they want to share and talk as well. Just like how you want to talk, just like how I want to talk when I meet someone, I should be able to ask others questions as well, because they might want to talk and share as well. I feel some people really struggle opening up until they are asked questions. Until they are spoken to, some people really find it difficult to open up. So that's why asking questions is very important to yourself and to others. Here I said journaling is very important for me because I have so many thoughts which makes me so excited. Like I am connected, what did I write here? Like I am trying to connect the dots, but then if I don't write it down, it flows away. That's very true. Here it says, next one is a question. What was younger karma like? Let me just quickly say what the younger version of karma was like. Younger karma was insecure, but he knew that there was more to life. He was lost, but he knew where he wanted to be. Yeah. The next point that I'm going to share is a little bit heavy, so I hope it doesn't upset anyone. One question I always had at the back of my mind is, I question if I will cry if I lose people who are dear to me. I wonder if I will cry at the moment, because in the past it hasn't affected me in a way it affects others. But what has affected me is seeing my dear ones cry and grieve over the loss of that person. Then I cry and feel sad because I see them cry. What's the reason behind it? I always want to dig deeper and know, where does this come from? This particular thought always bothers me, and I have shared it with some of my friends as well. When I experience loss in my life, I don't really feel sad, and I can see that I am not as affected by it than my family, which makes me think there is something wrong with me. But when does it affect me is when I see them cry over that loss. So then I get affected because I can see them cry. So seeing them cry makes me feel sad. So that's the only time I feel upset or disheartened or hurt by a loss, when I see people who are next to me affected by the loss. So I don't know if it makes sense, but it has always bothered me, and I always wanted to dig deeper and know, why does that happen with me? It must be something with my childhood, with my trauma in the past. I want to keep asking questions so that I learn more about myself. Here he says, start skipping. Yeah, I wanted to do more cardio and I wanted to skip So it's just a reminder to start skipping. This one is a good one. Who are you when you are alone? Oftentimes we are very attached to people around us, but sometimes you need to find who you are, what's your passion, because when you are with people, you are fine, but when you are alone, you got to deal with the silence. And it says, learned from Amma's experience. My mom, she's retired now. In her entire life, she has never spent a moment for herself. She has always looked out for her family, her kids, her relatives, but she has never looked out for herself. And because she has not spent the time investing in herself, she kind of lost herself. She doesn't really know what are her hobbies or what are her passions, what excites her. So now that she's retired and she has all the time in the world, she doesn't know what to do with the time, and that leads to the feeling of having no purpose, the feeling of being lost. And I have noticed that in her. She struggles with that every day now. And that's when I learned that having something that you're passionate about, something that keeps you excited, what are the hobbies that you want to experiment and explore in, is very important to have in your life, because as you grow older, these are the things that will keep you feeling younger. The next one, I said, I have very good instincts. That's true. I feel like I have very good instincts. If I feel that something is going to work out, it does. And if I feel like this might not work out at this very moment, so give it a little bit of time, it usually comes true. So I feel like I do have very good instincts. Also here I mentioned that I should start doing things that makes my focus really good, especially like painting, because while painting you can't really put your focus anywhere else. It has to be on the art. And here it says not TV, because when you're watching TV, sometimes I'm on my phone, and this is not something that keeps my focus in one place. I am working on this. I am working on doing things where my focus doesn't go everywhere. So painting is a good start. This is something that I saw on TikTok. I think it was from Drew Barrymore's show. Flowers are not supposed to last. Their job is to help us stay in the present. Oftentimes we try to buy flowers and try to keep it as alive and as fresh as possible. But what that show and what that clip from the TikTok said was, flowers are not supposed to last. Their job is to help us stay in the present. And that made me think, we as humans try so much to hold on to things and to keep it as still and as stuck in the moment as possible. But that's not how the universe works. Everything always changes, and we have to flow with it. And we have to accept the change, because we are also changing. That's the only way you enjoy the present. Because if you're stuck with the idea that you can preserve things at the very moment, you lose the opportunity to appreciate the moment that you're in. I've also mentioned the power of therapy. A few months ago, I was talking to my friend Andrew. We were talking about all different concepts and ideas and what was happening in our life. And one thing I want to say about him is he really is good at asking questions. He always tries to go deeper. Like if I say something, I didn't feel good yesterday because that person did something to me, then he will be like, why did you feel upset? He keeps on asking questions, and he asks me, why do you think you felt upset? Is it because he said something different, or because you thought he said that? Like, he asks questions in a way I feel the therapist in a therapy session asks questions. While we were having that conversation, at that very second I realized, maybe this is what therapy is all about. You talk and talk and talk until you discover more things about yourself. And I also observed I'm learning more about myself as I talk, because it's coming out from a place where I didn't know existed. Of course, it has its own challenges because English is not my first language. While I talk with him, I have to use English. But there is something beautiful about speaking in a second language. It makes your words more beautiful. Because English is not my first language, I think in Dzongkha, right? And I have to translate every word that I'm thinking in English when I speak to him. So that makes me think even deeper about what I'm feeling. It makes me question if what I'm saying in English matches what I felt in Zonka. So that entire process is really nurturing and eye-opening for me. Now I think I'm very open to therapy and I understand why therapy is very helpful. So if you feel like you want to know more about yourself and discover more about yourself, therapy is the next step. That's all that are in my notes, and I hope it didn't feel too chaotic and that my thoughts didn't go in all directions and make you more confused and tired. These are everything that happened in my life in August, and I'll be making more videos very soon. The next video that I'll be making is I'll be talking about my first YouTube payment, which I hope you guys will be excited to know more about. Thank you for watching and thank you for tuning in. And yes, don't forget to check out my link in my link description below to learn more about Amber Student. Thank you. See you next time. Bye. Subscribe. So please subscribe if you want me to get to 1,000. That's my goal for this year.
1,000
1,000 all day.
for next year. Yeah.
For this year, my goal is 1,000 subscribers this year. So please subscribe. Please.